this is Kimberly from Lakeside Loops, and this is the video tutorial for the Adilyn crochet bag or pillow cover. You can do either or. It's a 15 by 15 square, and then with the straps it creates a bag, or you can close off the end with a pillow insert inside to create a pillow. For this project, I used Lion Brand's Rewind tape yarn. I used the color Citronella, but they have a lot of beautiful colors on their website. I love this yarn because it's really durable and it's very lightweight. I also used a 5mm crochet hook, and you will also need the written instructions for this pattern, which you can find for free on my website, lakesideloops.com, and I'll have a direct link in the comments. You can also download the PDF pattern, so there's no ads, it's printable and savable. You can find that on Etsy and Ravelry. You can also get a kit from the Lion Brand website where you'll get your yarn, the PDF pattern, and you can even add in a hook or anything else you may need to complete this project. You will also need a darning needle, so just a very thick needle that you can thread some yarn into, and you will use that to sew on the straps of your bag. So again, you're going to want the written pattern in order to complete this design, which you can find for free on my website. There are also links there if you would like to purchase the PDF downloadable printable pattern. You can do that as well. This video is just going to go over the basics. It's going to be really short and sweet because this pattern is pretty easy once you get the hang of it, and I want to keep this short for you. So I'm just going to do a small sample size here, but if you're following along on the written pattern, your beginning chain is 56. I'm just doing a very small beginning chain just so I can show you the stitches and how this bag works up, and then we'll go over seaming and attaching the straps. So again, your chain's going to be 56. Mine's just a short little guy here. And you're going to, once you have your chain of 56, you're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So not this chain, but this one right here. You're going to work a single crochet. And you're just going to continue down the chain, working a single crochet into each chain until you reach the end. All right, so I've skipped ahead here and I've reached the end of my little sample size. And for row 2, I'm going to chain 1 and turn. I'm going to single crochet into the first 2 stitches. And now I'm going to work a double treble stitch. So this is what the stitch I'm about to do is what creates these puffy poofs on our design. So for the double treble, you're going to yarn over 3 times. So I've got 3 loops in addition to my original loop that's on my hook. And now you're going to insert your hook into the stitch, grab your yarn and pull it through. So now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and you're going to do that 4 times. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, that's 1, yarn over and pull through 2, that's 2, yarn over and pull through 2, that's 3, and yarn over and pull through 2, that's 4. Now as you can see, this stitch is a lot taller than my single crochet. So what's going to happen is I'm going to push this to the front, and when I work my next stitch, which is a single crochet, it's going to make that really tall stitch sort of fold in half and poof out. Creates this little poof, this little nub. And so we're going to alternate between these really tall double trebles and our single crochet stitch for this entire row, and that's going to create these poofs. Every other stitch will be a poof. So again, yarn over 3 times, insert your hook, and then yarn over and pull through 2 4 times. And then single crochet into the next stitch. And you're going to continue to do that all the way down your row until 1 stitch remains, and you're going to single crochet in that last stitch. Alright, so as you can see, I've skipped ahead here. I started row 2 with 2 single crochets, and I finished row 2 with 2 single crochets. And now for row 3, I'm going to chain 1, and this time we're only going to work a single crochet into the first stitch. And what we're trying to do is stagger these little nubs, these little poofs. So we're going to be working our double trebles into our single crochets from our previous round. All right, so I've worked my first single crochet, and now I'm going to work my double treble. So I've yarned over 3 times. Insert my hook. All right, now, as you can see, the poofs are on the opposite side. And so instead of pushing this long stitch toward the front, where I'm working right now, I'm going to push it toward the back. And then I'm going to single crochet into the next stitch. And that way the poof shows up on the same side as they did in my previous row. Now, if you accidentally push it to the front, don't panic. It's a very, very, very easy fix. So let's say I push it to the front out of habit, and I've already worked my single crochet. Just take your hook and you can just push it through to the other side. So you could really, if you wanted, just put them all facing you and then go through with your hook after you're finished a row and push them all to the opposite side. As long as in the end they all end up on the same side, it doesn't really matter. So with that, I think you understand now how this bag is made, how these puff stitches are created. So you're just going to continue on following the written instructions, and eventually it'll become a little more varied so that you can create this diamond design. The graph for this bag is within the pattern as well. So if you prefer to just look at a chart to see where to place your stitches, that is an option, as well as having it all written out within the pattern that you can find on my website. For the straps, again, the written instructions are within the pattern, but you're just chaining 101 and then doing 100 single crochets, and then you're going to repeat that for 6 rows. I then slip stitched around the border of my strap just to give it a cleaner edge, and you do that to create 2 straps, and then I'll show you how I attach them to the bag. All right, so for my straps, I tried to line them up with this, so you have one sort of half diamond here, it's sort of cut off, and then there's a full diamond here, and I tried to line them up with that. They're about they start about 3.5 inches over from the edge of the bag. And I used a darning needle. I threaded some of the yarn that we are using into the end of this darning needle, and then I used that to sew the strap to the bag. So I sewed it on the inside, so the side that does not have the poofs, and I sewed approximately 12 stitches of the strap. So there's about 12 stitches here, that's how far down I went, and I just took my darning needle and I sewed a rectangle. I sewed all the way around, making sure that I checked on the other side to make sure I didn't have, big pieces of yarn covering up any of my poofs. I tried to strategically sew it so that you can't see the yarn, but again, you're using the same color yarn, and I'm not an expert sewer by any means. I just sewed it very loosely and it's pretty secure. So I did one, and then making sure that this is flat, I went over to the other side and did the same thing. So again, 3.5 inches over, 12 stitches down, I sewed a rectangle. Then you're going to repeat that process on the other panel of your bag. And once you have attached your straps, you're going to join your 2 panels together by slip stitching. So grab your crochet hook again and some yarn, and I just slip stitched all the way down the side, across the bottom, and up the other side. And I did about 1 slip stitch per row when I was working down the side, and then on the bottom you can sort of see the stitches and line them up quite easily. And if you are turning this into a pillow instead of a bag, you obviously would have skipped the strap steps. You would now insert your pillow insert, and then again just continue slip stitching across the top to close off your pillow. I really hope that this video tutorial helped with any questions that you may have had about the pattern. I know for me, sometimes seeing it really helps me figure out what I'm doing. If you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I really want to help you create this bag. I know that I'm already getting a lot of use out of mine, and I look forward to seeing your finished piece as well. So on that note, I would love if you would tag me in any pictures that you post online, because I love seeing your projects.